All right, Sunny Days Media football show. Tomorrow's preview today. I always fuck that up, Jerry.
Tomorrow's preview tonight.
Tomorrow's preview tonight, as you correct me. We have some live football on right now. The NFC South winner of this game between the Buccaneers and the Panthers is going to go on to the playoffs. Going to be the division winner. I believe, and I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. This would be, if the Buccaneers win tonight, this would be the first time since, I guess, the 2010 Seahawks that we've got a playoff team with a losing record. If that's the case. If the Panthers win,
then yes. That sounds right, because the Bucs, while they've been in the dance for the past couple of years, they've been at least one game above 500. Again, talking out of my ass here a little bit, but I do believe that's the case.
Oh, they've been way over 500 the past couple of years. The Bucs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say last year they won, 11, 12 games, something like that.
Oh, wow.
Maybe 10 at the worst. So here we are. We're in week 18. No Thursday night football. We've got two Saturday games. We've got obviously no Monday night football this week. As all of us know, it's Black Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Head coaches getting fired. I think we'll start with that here, Jerry. And before we get into all the playoff stuff and all the matchups for tomorrow, because a lot of the games for tomorrow are irrelevant. At this point, right? Everyone's kind of both conferences. The playoffs are pretty much set. The only outstanding, thing to determine for the NFC would be seeding, and if the Panthers or the Bucs, win the South. But pretty much, if I'm looking at the AFC here. And it's the same thing in the AFC. I believe Baltimore and Pittsburgh play tonight. Winner of that game wins their division. They're in the playoffs. Everybody else eliminated. So everything from here on out is about seeding. Let's start with the coaches. I don't know how many firings we're going to have on Black Monday.
I think all the firings that people would have expected to happen at this point. Talking out of my ass here a tad, but I feel like a lot of them happened. We saw Daboll go. Trying to think who else went recently. Daboll is the first one that comes to mind. But anybody who would have lost their
Titans head coach, he got fired.
Mm-hmm.
The
Saints head coach,
the Saints. No. What's his face?
No.
Kellen Moore this is his first year. He will be there for a little while. I don't think the Cardinals are going to fire
Jonathan Gannon.
I think what's his face? Dan Quinn gets another year in Washington. The Falcons are an interesting one. They're in a really weird situation. They have no first round pick this year. That's going to the Rams. I would not be shocked, and I think it would be the best thing for their organization. Just from like the outside looking in, I'm not a Falcons fan. I don't watch every Falcons game, although I've watched a good amount of them this year.
Mm-hmm.
Raheem Morris has been a head coach before, I believe, in Tampa. He hasn't really ever shown you anything. He did a nice job as an interim head coach a few years ago. I want to say that was for the Falcons when they fired Arthur Smith, but I don't believe in him. There's like nothing that this Falcons team does right. Every year, I feel like we have these I shouldn't say we, because I never have these expectations for the Falcons, but everybody else seems to have these monstrosity expectations for the Falcons. And it's like every year you hear that there's going to be Kyle Pitts year and Drake London and all these guys. And it's every year, it's just nothing. It's a dud. And so I think the best thing they could do is fire Raheem Morris. Now it's like what you do from there, I don't know. I know Belichick was rumored to get that job 2 years ago now, and he didn't. And I don't think Belichick's getting it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that ship has sailed.
Yeah. There were some rumors this week about your team, Jerry, but I don't think I believe any of them.
I forgot who said it. I did see the rumors. Somebody came out and said that to defend Aaron Glenn in the sense of the product you're seeing on the field right now is not an NFL roster, and quite frankly, I'm inclined to agree. It's not his fault. He can't be blamed for the shortcomings of this year's season. It's gonna be a process to rebuild and get to where we got to go, but it's gonna come. I'm confident in that, or at least for another year and a half.
I mean, he's got to shoulder some of the blame here with the Jets. But yeah, if you look at this, like I forgot who I was talking to a Jets fan earlier in the week, and I think like the Jets at their very best, right? If the Jets had like Kyle Shanahan running them, I think at best they're an 8-win team, 7-win, and like
in this division that doesn't even that you won't even sniff the playoffs in this division, let alone this in the AFC. 8 wins wouldn't get you in the AFC unless you won a division. So what does that fucking do for us? That makes us a worse draft pick. I'd rather be kind of shitty at the bottom of the barrel than an 8. No, that's a lie. Because I stand on my soapbox week in and week out and yell at Facino whenever he's on the show about how much a win feels better than a better draft pick that we're inevitably just gonna fuck up anyway. So I don't know, but I'm not. Listen, he's staying. As far as I know, as far as I'm concerned, he's staying. I want him to stay. You can't not judge him. I understand a lot of things were questionable this year. It's his first time as a head coach. Everyone's going to make mistakes. My first year at work, your first year at work too. I'm sure you made a lot of stupid, dumbass mistakes that, professionals who have been there for 10 plus years don't make. So you got to give him a chance to grow. You got to give him a roster to build around. You got to let him kind of do what he needs to do. That being said, though, just because I don't want to talk about them, I feel as if, and stop me if you disagree here, but I think we're going to see some coaches go that we would not expect to be going. I heard you mention Kevin Stefanski before. I could see him getting the boot.
Zach Taylor in Cincinnati might. But same thing. Like, what were they going to do? You didn't have Joe Burrow all year. Like, what was that team going to do? And honestly, they did like a decent job staying alive with Joe Flacco to a degree. Yeah. I mean, they were mathematically still in when Burrow came off that injury in December. So I think the only guy that has a winning pedigree that I think it might be time to move on is I would not have touched that ball. I don't know why he did that.
What's the score?
It's 14. It's 16-14.
Fuck, dude. God fucking damn it. God damn it. I knew I didn't like that number. We were talking about it.
There were 16 seconds left in this game. That's crazy. Fuck. I did not think it was this late in the game. I think the only guy that's got somewhat of a winning pedigree that I think we might see lose his job is John Harbaugh at the Ravens. And you could tell me that he shouldn't, and I would agree with you. And you could tell me that he should, and I would probably agree with you. Like you could get me to go either way on that. At this point, the same with Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. It's been on paper a lot of success, but it's been a lot of shortcomings. It's been a lot of what could have been, and so like I just think, especially, it seems like the Ravens are at this crossroad, right? To look at the Ravens specifically, they're at a crossroad here where Lamar's getting hurt every year now. Like at some point every year, Lamar is losing time. And when he's healthy and they're in the playoffs, he's losing to one of the Bills or the Chiefs. I think this playoff run for potentially either one of those AFC North teams is going to be telling of what the future is. So, for example, if Mike Tomlin wins tonight, if the Pittsburgh Steelers win, and then
game's tomorrow. A lot of people made that mistake.
Oh, who's playing tonight then? Oh, it's San Francisco.
The Niners, Seahawks.
I'm sorry. So if Mike Tomlin and the Steelers win tomorrow, and then they go on, they win a game in the first round, and then they get bounced by the Patriots or the Bills or anybody you could name in the AFC, Denver. I don't think that Mike Tomlin loses his job ultimately. I think that they still ride it out. I think if you're the Ravens, part of me kind of thinks the opposite. Like, I think if you're the Ravens, I kind of think for John Harbaugh to keep his job, he's going to have to take this team to an AFC. Like, I don't know. And maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. And I genuinely haven't looked into what any of these Baltimore beat reporters have said. But, like, from the outside looking in, it's just like, I don't how much longer you are really both organizations going to do this. Like, Lamar is 29. The Buccaneers just won. They're going to the playoffs with an 8-9 record. That's insane. Lamar is 29. I mean, the time is ticking on him. And, like, as great as Lamar is, as great a passer as he is, like, this is a guy whose money is made on the ground and with his ability to run. If you take Lamar's legs away from him, he's no longer a top 5 quarterback. He just isn't, right? Like, what makes him so great is the fact that he's a dual threat. So I think the Ravens are at a really pivotal moment here. And I think they're either going to dig their heels in with John Harbaugh and say, this is our guy. He's won here before. And Lamar is gone, or Harbaugh's gone. I think they're probably going to move off Harbaugh.
I don't think you're alone in thinking that. I wouldn't be shocked about it. I have a couple of Ravens fans who are friends of mine, and one was at my house this past week, and we talked about it for a hot second, and he doesn't necessarily want him to leave or go, for that matter, not necessarily leave, but he would not be upset with the decision if it was to happen. So I think kind of everyone is just more so like, you know, when you have a girlfriend and, you know, you both know that things are coming to a head and you just kind of say, all right, let's just call it quits and we'll go our separate, a mutual breakup of sorts. I don't think there'll be any bad blood. I hope. I don't know. I could be really wrong about this, but, like, I think it's more so of like, hey, like, yeah, this where we've both decided that we've come to terms with this is just not going to work moving forward. So,
and I think the same for Tomlin. Like, they have been a first.
I think Tomlin retires. I don't think Tomlin coaches another team after this. I could see him going into media.
That could. They could. I think he's a little, unless he's got more of a personality and he just holds back, which is a possibility.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a shame that John Gruden's got this lawsuit against the NFL. I mean, good for him. Like, I think he's going after Goodell, and you know, God bless you. But I'd really love to see John Gruden run one of these two teams. I'd love to see John Gruden on a college football sideline, for that matter, too, at this point. But
yeah, I think that might happen. I guess maybe not now. The main carousel has been done, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see him go to, like, Ole Miss or something like that.
I mean, Ole Miss hired. They promoted the DC. He's got the job for a little while.
Oh, okay, that's going to be his job.
The OC, I believe, is going over to LSU, but the DC isn't. He's staying. So yeah, I don't know, but I think both of these AFC North teams. Yeah, I think it should be a mutual breakup. I mean, there's definitely something to say about consistency, and Tomlin has been consistent. And, you know, I don't know that all of those issues there are on him. It seems like, as stable as an organization that the Steelers are, you know, it seems to be that either they're content with just being a winning team and being out in the first round, which at that point, that's an organizational problem more than it's a head coach problem. Or, you know, I don't know, maybe they just don't like what they see out there with some of these other head coaching prospects. But I think that would be the best thing for both of those organizations.
Yeah.
There were rumors about Matt LaFleur in Green Bay. I mean, they're in a playoff. Ultimately, they kind of just backed into that. I mean, Detroit fell apart. I think if Detroit figured it back out, if Detroit was able to win these last three.
They're what? They're a wild card team?
Green Bay, yeah. They're the last wild card team.
Huh. I didn't know they got in. Good for them.
Yeah, they're in. But like I said, they kind of backed into it at this point. I mean, they dropped games this year that they really shouldn't have dropped.
Yeah, yeah, you could say that again.
Losing to the Panthers,
tying the Cowboys,
tied the Cowboys. So they're a very hot and cold team, but I think ultimately they're another team that really doesn't move off head coaches. So I think LaFleur's there at least another year. I kind of feel like that's it. People have said McDermott and Buffalo, but I think the Bills are better than a lot of these AFC teams. Right now, if everything stays the way it is in the AFC, the Bills will be going back up to New England to play the Patriots in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So
Patriots fans are afraid of that game. They're scared. If they had to face the Bills in the first round, they're scared.
I work alongside one, and he is nothing but confident about playing the Bills.
Really?
In fact, he wants the Bills. He wants the Chargers most of all.
Yeah, that's what they've been saying.
He doesn't want to see the Texans, and he doesn't want to see Jacksonville.
Fuck off with the Texans nonsense. I would not worry about the Texans.
Yeah, you don't think so? I like that defense. That's a damn good defense.
It's a damn good defense, and I don't know. Like I understand defense wins championships, so whatever the fuck John Madden said, but
I don't know. I never agreed with that.
Great
teams win championships.
Yeah, exactly. And your defense is only going to get you so far. How many good defenses have we seen just completely bust out in the playoffs before? It's happened before. It's not the first time. It won't be the last time. I would not be scared. If I'm the Patriots and you're afraid of the fucking Houston Texans, you got your own problems. I'd be scared of a team that's been there before, a team that's hungry, a team that knows that this is their fucking shot and it might not come again because look at even better, even to make things better for Josh Allen's case or worse, depending on how you're looking at things, who knows what's going to fucking happen tomorrow. It could be Rodgers. That AFC North spot could be Rodgers and Lamar might not be in the playoffs. So if that's even the case, that's Josh's conference to win or whatever the league
conference.
Is it league conference? Yeah.
Yeah. Jacksonville would scare me too. Mm-hmm. Jacksonville's
I'd a lot more in on Jacksonville than I am Texas.
Jacksonville is a very sneaky good team. They're legit. Another head coach firing we didn't bring up. The Dolphins with McDaniel. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think
I heard he's going to stay.
Yeah, I mean, at minimum, I think the next GM is going to decide what to do there. But it's just like from a money standpoint. Like I think I've said this on here before. I looked up his salary. He's making like $3.5 million a year. I don't know where you're going to find another head coach to. I mean, you could find an assistant somewhere that'll gladly take $3.5 million a year from what they're making, but to get a quality guy in there, it's going to be tough at that, so they're going to have to open up the checkbook.
They just got to figure out their shit. He's not the fucking problem, and he never was. I understand he didn't really update the scheme and change things up and do whatever, but I never really thought he was the problem.
I think he's part of the problem.
Tua's brain dead. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on air or not. That might be. I don't know.
I don't think anyone important's watching. I think you're good.
Okay. What do you mean?
I don't think the FCC cares about what we have to say.
So Tua is not doing great, physically and mentally. Weekend for at least. Tyreek Hill has his own issues on and off the field, especially now that he's
got multiple issues,
and he's an older man now battling with. I understand it's just, I think it's just an ACL, and I know we've since medical breakthroughs and whatnot, but it's
significant injury.
So significant injury, and then you had Devin Achane. But we know that miles on running back mean significantly more when looking at the year over year. Against most other positions in the league. I think they just need to blow it up and rebuild. Where they go, I'm not too sure. They have Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers hasn't really proved anything much in these past 2 or 3 games that he's played, at least to me. I don't know if you're seeing anything different than what I'm seeing. Yeah.
It's better than Tua.
Yeah.
But that's not that doesn't tell me anything.
No.
So, yeah, it doesn't tell me much. In terms of tomorrow, so tonight we're gonna have, like we said, Seahawks and Niners. That's interesting because if the Niners win here, doesn't matter what happens tomorrow. If the Niners win tonight, they're the 1 seed, which is kind of crazy because they really haven't had a quarterback. They had Mac Jones for a while, and then because Purdy was out, now Purdy comes back in, doesn't look great, and yet they're still in a position to be the 1 seed. I mean, we haven't spoken much about Coach of the Year. Vrabel's done a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Johnson's done a fantastic job. Liam Cohen, another fantastic job down in Jacksonville. You could even make a case for D'Amico Ryans at this point. However, I think that for me, it's Kyle Shanahan. I mean, we just talked about what the Jets look like with no quarterback, what the Bengals look like with no quarterback. I mean, and Mac Jones has been a starter before, right? He's won 10 games in this league as a starter. Like, he's, I guess, competent. But, if you told me that Purdy's stat line for the season would be 2,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and Mac Jones would start whatever it was, 11 games, I'd tell you that San Francisco was probably at best a 7 seed. And here they are about to be the 1, about to have a bye, and potentially could play at home through the Super Bowl because the Super Bowl is going to be in Levi Stadium.
Levi Stadium.
So they have an amazing opportunity in front of them. And you only got to play one of these teams at a time. And in a way, I think San Francisco is a battle-tested team. There are a lot of flaws, and don't get me wrong, San Francisco's got their flaws too. But there are flaws with each of these teams that we look at in the NFC, right? Like the Bears have 11 wins. They're the 2 seed. Ben Johnson's looked great. Caleb has looked great. However, very, very small margin of victory in all of these games, right? And that's fine. You just have to win.
Yep.
But they have not convincingly beat a lot of people. Like every one of these victories is by 1 point, by 2 points, by under a touchdown in the last, 14 seconds of the game. That's not.
Yeah, but for all intents and purposes, for the most part, not all of them. I know there was an ugly Raiders win there. Bears have had a tough schedule. So, if anything, I in my opinion, at least, it's a testament to that team and what they're able to do to claw at wins against.
Yes and no. I mean, they've played an easier schedule than Detroit, and I don't think watching Detroit this year, I don't think Detroit was very good this year. So, for me to look at Chicago, and Chicago will probably beat us tomorrow because this team looks like they quit. But it just you're not really. I think their most convincing win was against the Eagles on Black Friday. They won 24-15. I mean, they killed the Browns. That doesn't tell me much. I buy into Seattle, LA, and San Francisco a hell of a lot more than I buy into Chicago. And I don't care what the records say. Those are good teams. Yeah, maybe they had an easier schedule, but they showed up when they had to. The Rams are on kind of a down spell right now. We'll see if they could reverse that. But I would be a lot more intimidated playing a team like San Francisco, especially too. You talk about been there, done that. San Francisco's been to what, 3 Super Bowls in the past 6-7 years now?
I haven't won it, yeah.
They haven't won
since the 90s. But
they have been there.
Yeah.
They've been there quite recently. In our lifetime, we've seen 4 49ers teams go to a Super Bowl. They haven't won any of them in our lifetime. Or rather,
who was the 4th?
Kaepernick when they lost to the Raiders.
Oh, fuck yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah,
So, this is a team, and now none of those guys are there anymore, but this group with Shanahan has been there for a while. These are actually beautiful jerseys that we're in too. This group has been there. And now they've got Robert Saleh back at DC. He looks like he's doing a hell of a job there. I mean, you talk about a guy that's going to get a second chance. I know you don't love hearing that, but this guy's absolutely getting a second chance. Do you have anything to add there? Or are you frozen?
Yeah, I was just about to text you and say keep. I was about to text you and just say keep going, fight through it. I don't know what's going on.
You were either having a stroke or you were frozen. I couldn't tell.
Nope. So you mentioned Saleh. I heard Saleh. I saw an Instagram post the other day. It said Woody Johnson's interested in talking to Robert Saleh for a head coaching position of the New York Jets. It's not him, man. It wasn't his fault. He wasn't a bad coach. It was just a shit roster and everything that happened around him. Whatever. I have no ill will towards Bob Saleh. With that being said, do not pull the tapes from last year and the year before. I don't want to say you're on your high horse about the Niners here, but there is a team that's also have been there and done that and has the opposite effect as the San Francisco 49ers in the past, let's say, decade, and that is the LA Rams with an arguably
Eagles?
No, fuck the Eagles.
Who've won two in the past?
No, the Eagles
7 years?
Shot.
Yeah.
No, this is the Niners, or this is the Niners or the Rams, and that's just coming out of the NFC in my opinion. I think the Seahawks win a game. I guess it's also all kind of dependent on what happens here, but I think it's gonna be one of those two California teams.
I think the Rams. I trust the 49ers a lot more than I trust the Rams, but I trust Matthew Stafford more than I trust Brock Purdy. So
yeah, without a doubt.
I mean, yeah, I think definitely one of those two, if not both, depending on how this goes. I think I would not be surprised if we have a Rams-Niners NFC Championship. Personally, I think I'd rather see that, to tell you the truth. I mean, everybody else from the NFC, as good as the NFC was this year, I don't believe in the Packers going on a run. I don't believe in the Eagles going on a run. I think depending on who Chicago plays in this first round, like I think if Chicago has to play the Packers, they're going to beat them in the first round. I think if Chicago loses tomorrow, and they drop down, if Chicago loses and the Eagles win tomorrow, and the Eagles, they swap spots and Chicago's got to play the Rams in the first round, I think they're getting mollywopped. I think they're getting fucking ran through in their own stadium wildcard weekend. And by God, I will have my Stafford jersey on for that game. I'll be a little petty.
That's fair.
I think everybody else, like the Seahawks. It's the Seahawks, Rams, and Niners, and I'm still leaning Rams and Niners. Like as the Seahawks have a real good defense, but how much do you trust Darnold? As good as he's looked, how much do you trust him down the stretch in the playoffs? This is going to be his second playoff game of his career.
Yeah. I don't know why I had to think about that. He did not sniff the playoffs in New York.
No, and they not in Carolina. And he may have been on a playoff roster in San Francisco, but I don't think he ever played.
Yeah, he wasn't playing. Also, that being said, though, I think that the Rams are a little bit more complete in ways that the Niners aren't. Niners are a really good team. I know they have McCaffrey, but they do not really have – they have receivers, but, like, Pearsall isn't playing tonight. He's hurt. He's been up and down the entire season. You don't know what the deal is with Kittle. You got to assume he's going to play in the playoffs, but like he's kind of also been up and down the entire season as far as injuries go. Then who does that leave?
I don't even know.
Ayuk's not coming to save him.
I thought Kittle was on. Okay, so he's off IR now.
He didn't play last week though, so he might become. I don't know. I just don't know what his deal is. Yeah.
So you're taking Seattle tonight?
I like Seattle tonight. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Jackson Smith-Njigba has had an incredible season. This guy made himself some money this year. That's for sure. He added a couple of zeros to his extension.
I think he is the receiver, but also, I mean, not to shit all over him and take away what is rightfully his. He has had a good season. This is a down season for receivers. Chase didn't have that great of a year. Jefferson's below 1,000 yards. He might not finish a year with 1,000 yards. That's, probably will happen because I think he only needs like 50 or 60 something. But I feel like it wasn't a great year for the receiver this year.
Jefferson is at 947. So probably will get to 1,000, but that's a down year. 2 touchdowns.
Exactly. Yeah, compared to 2,000 that he had last year. I might be speaking out of my ass there, but he definitely had more than 1,000.
That would be the 2,000 would be the record. But he may have had close to 2,000. He may have had whatever it was, 1,800. I'm not totally sure. So
Calvin Johnson has the record with 1,964.
Yes, the important games tomorrow that's going to affect some seeding here is Jacksonville and the Titans, the Colts and Texans, Lions and Bears, Packers and Vikings. Not really. Packers and Vikings has no effect because the Packers can't move up and they can't be eliminated. Miami, New England at 425. And I mean, yeah, I guess kind of all over here. Anyone that's still alive for the most part. The only team that can't be affected at all tomorrow essentially is the Green Bay Packers. Doesn't matter if they win, doesn't matter if they lose, they're going in. Mm-hmm. And well, they're staying in their spot. Everyone else, the Eagles could move. The Eagles could only move up. The Bears can only move down. The Bucs can't go anywhere. As we said, the Niners win tonight. They're the 1 seed, which then would mean that Seattle gets locked into that 5, and they'd be going to Tampa Bay. And then from the AFC, Denver is playing, I think, who is Denver playing tomorrow? Denver is playing the Chargers tomorrow, and the Chargers are benching everyone. So Denver should continue, should win, should get to 14-3, should be the 1 seed. However, if Denver loses and the Patriots win, the Patriots are now the 1 seed.
Denver loses and the Patriots win.
And then I don't know if Jacksonville can move up to the 2. Pittsburgh's locked into the 4. Well, Pittsburgh or the Ravens will be locked into the 4. Yeah, and then Texans, Chargers, Bills, everyone. I mean, they're all 11-5, so all those guys could be interchangeable. We're going to assume the Chargers lose, so the Chargers will probably be that 7 seed. And then yeah, I mean everything else kind of plays out. What else do you have here, Jerry? We're 32 minutes in.
It's just tough because there's not many. The biggest game, I actually we haven't really talked about it. We haven't talked about the game itself. The biggest game this weekend, in my opinion, is Steelers Ravens. I'm very excited for this game. Like I mentioned, I have several friends who are Ravens fans, a couple who are Steelers fans. It's a rivalry game. And everybody's playing, and they're going to be out for blood. This game's going to be like 13-9. It's not going to be a high-scoring, exciting game, I think, just because that's how these two teams normally play each other. But I do, and this is Rodgers' last shot, more than likely. Maybe he comes back. I don't think he does, but this is more than likely his last chance to get in the playoffs. So I'll be glued to my TV for Sunday Night Football tomorrow. I'm very excited for that game.
You think that's the best game of the weekend?
Yeah. I mean, other than the one that we just watched a half of or 3/4 of.
I think Seattle, San Francisco has probably got potential to be a better game. I did not. So they're definitely Sunday night.
Yeah.
That's crazy because they had said last week that Ravens Steelers was going to be Sunday Night Football. And then when the original Saturday night lineup came out, it had Ravens Steelers. I thought.
The Saturday night lineup.
Yeah, tonight. And then I don't know. I think my head's all over the place.
Oh, I think it's all fucked up with the flexing and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the NFL agrees with me in the sense of this is probably the biggest game of the weekend. That's why we're making the Sunday night football game of week 18.
Well, I mean, it's going to be the easiest to sell on Sunday night football for sure. Another interesting thing to watch here. I wonder if Pete Carroll gets fired in Vegas. They were a disaster this year. I don't think they expected to be a disaster. Chip Kelly was the highest paid OC, gets fired, the week of Thanksgiving?
I think you see them release Gino before they fire Pete Carroll.
I mean, at this point, Pete Carroll's 74.
Yeah, oldest coach to ever coach a football game or an NFL game.
At some point, is he going to be around here for, this team when they're finally good? I don't know. I thought it was a mistake hiring him. I thought he was a little too old. I think if it was a team, if he had gotten a job last year as the Packers head coach, for example, then I think that would have made more sense, right? They're good right now. They've got some young players. There's a 3-year, I don't like using, windows, but there is a 3-year window where you could conceivably say okay, this guy could coach until 76, right? And you could give it a try. The Raiders were not ready for that. They weren't that good of a team on paper. I don't think anybody was excited about oh great, Geno Smith. The fairy tale ended in Seattle, and I think you saw what Geno could be, and that was about it.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a surprise firing. But I think come Black Monday around they're on the West Coast. So around noon, 11 a.m., we're going to get the update that Pete Carroll got fired. I think that's going to happen.
And you know what? I don't think it stains his reputation. I think, 20 years from now, maybe even less, who knows if he'll be around in 20 years, knock on wood, hopefully he is. People are going to get this year happen for Pete Carroll's career. We'll always look back on USC and the Seahawks.
Yeah. I mean, it's a damn good. You can win a Super Bowl. That's a damn good career. But some of those last few years in Seattle, it just kind of got stale. But yeah, I guess you're right. You're right. They were a good team. They were always a good team.
Yep.
Maybe one of those years with Pete Carroll, they were bad. But for the most part, they were always a real, really competitive team, really good defensively. Yeah, I just think, that offense kind of got stale. I always liked the direction of his offense. I liked that he was a run-first guy. I liked that he wanted to lean. He wanted to be balanced, but he wanted to be more, 55-45 run-to-pass ratio. And I always liked that. I agreed with that. I thought that that's the way you should be running your offense. And I think that's what really helped Russell Wilson all those years. When he went to places where he was asked to be a pass-first quarterback, where, the focal point was kind of him, he faltered a little bit. And I think some of it was age. Some of it was just injuries catching up with him. I know he's had some ankle issues throughout his career. But I always did admire the way Pete Carroll was always cool, calm, and collected. Never really, caused issues.
That's just being a professional. Yeah. I mean, you also are kind of Glenn. You're only talking about his NFL career. I mean, not that I remember much of it, but based on the 30 for 30 I watched on the Trojan Horse, his time at USC was quite polarizing.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying with the scandal, with the money,
and just being there, he was a fucking rock star to my based upon everything that I've seen. I wasn't watching college football in the early 2000s like I am now, but
he must have. I guess he was in his 50s for that job.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Sounds about right.
Once upon a time, he was a Jets head coach. You know that, right?
I do. Yeah, I do.
I think he went 2-14.
Let's see.
2-14, and he got fired. He was 1 year as Jets head coach.
1994, 6-10.
6-10. Okay.
But to be fair, they fired him for what's his name?
They didn't fire. What year?
94.
They did not fire him for Belichick.
Not Belichick. Before Belichick.
Oh my
the big
God.
guy.
Rich Kotite?
No. What the fuck?
Parcells?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass about that one. But those timelines seem to match up in my mind, at least.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna fact check myself.
I think you're right. I think it was Bill Parcells because then Curtis Martin left New England.
No, it was a year after he came in 97.
Okay. And I think he only coached for like 2 years.
97 to 2000.
2000. Okay. And then Belichick was supposed to come. Really?
Mm-hmm.
So Belichick's first year in New England was 01?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was the Super because the Ravens won the Super Bowl in 2000 and 01 was the Super Bowl year. 01, 02, 04.
Yeah, but I thought Brady sat for a season.
Yeah, 2000.
Right, but then how did okay. Because I always thought Parcells got to the Jets and then took over and then became the GM.
Yeah, so in 2000, Patriots hired Belichick.
Okay.
And then Bledsoe got hurt week 2, 2001.
Yeah. I think Brady sat for that whole first year.
Yeah.
Jerry, what else do you have for tomorrow?
That's it. That was a nice little tangent to go on to close the show. I got nothing for tomorrow. Real quick, if we want to just pull up the book real quick, I'll give you some picks. I would have been on the Seahawks tonight, but I'm fucking bankrupt because I got greedy and put the Knicks with the Rangers last night on a parlay, and the Knicks lost to a heavily favored matchup against the fucking Atlanta Hawks. That's neither here nor there. Bet the New Orleans Saints plus 150 to win that game. I like Tyler Shuck. He's been doing okay for me so far. I bet him the past or covered at least. I don't know. I definitely won money on them. Dog's going to eat tomorrow. Bet the Giants. I like the Giants tomorrow to beat the Cowboys. I don't think the Cowboys are going to be doing too much there. I think they might bench Dak. No reason to touch that game. The
Patriots are heavy favorites.
You said the Colts games. So,
Jerry, your internet sucks. You're coming in and out here. The Colts are playing the Texans. Texans are at 10.5.
Oh, wait. Oh, wow. That's
yeah. Your internet's coming in and out. We just lost like half of what you said.
Of course it is. All right. Bet the Giants, bet the Saints. Bet the Giants, bet the Saints, and bet the Jets to play spoiler at fucking Highmark tomorrow. How about that one? What do you think about that?
I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think so. I think the Bills are winning. Yeah, I think the Bills are winning tomorrow. Because the Bills could still move up in seeding. And I think if you're the Bills...
Oh, hang on a second.
You'd rather
I don't know how true this is, but FanDuel has matchups posted. I don't know. So this is, according to FanDuel Sportsbook, as of right now. Oh, no, maybe not. I spoke too soon. They're all slated for January 11th at 1 p.m. Never mind. I'll go fuck myself.
Yeah, I think...
Okay, so what are you saying?
Yeah, no, I was just saying I think the Bills are playing to win tomorrow. I don't think they're benching anyone because if they win and the Chargers lose, the Texans lose. So the Texans have the tiebreaker over the Bills because the Texans beat them head-to-head. Now, the Texans are playing – they're playing the Colts tomorrow. They probably won't lose. But if you're the Bills here and you win, you at least move up into the 6th seed – and you're going to Jacksonville instead of New England, yeah, maybe for the Bills. I don't know. I think you never want to see a team a third time in a season.
Yeah.
So, like, even if you're the Bills and you are confident playing the Patriots or vice versa, if you're the Patriots and you're confident playing the Bills, I don't think that you want to see them a third time. I mean, just the way things are going to work out, it looks like if you both win round one, you're going to see them. But I think the Bills will be playing to win. I don't like taking the Bills to cover a spread. Like, what's the spread on that game? Double digits?
8 points. Surprisingly not. 7.5.
FanDuel is 7.5. Yeah, I don't even like that. That would be crazy if the Jets won that game. Yeah, I don't know. All right, yeah. I my brain is mush. I've been up since like 4 a.m. today, so
Yeah, go to sleep.
I'm gonna go to sleep. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you all next week.
Playoffs, baby.
Playoffs.